Boychik. Sits. I want to tell you about the first Israeli wedding I attended after I made Aliyah. The first one. There have been many since. But the first is the one that breaks you. The invitation said 7 o'clock. 7, Boychik. A clear number. A specific number. Not around 7. Not ish. Not yalla 7. Just 7. So I arrived at 6:55. Because I was raised properly. In America, when an invitation says 7, you arrive at 6:55. You apologize for being 5 minutes early. You stand in the lobby. You feel like a fool. This is the contract. This is the system. We all agreed to it. It was written down somewhere, probably by a Lutheran. I walked into the hall. The hall, Boychik, the hall was empty. Empty. Not still filling up. Not a few early guests. Empty like the Sinai Desert. Empty like my wallet after a visit to the Makolet. There was a man with a mop. He did not look at me. I think he was offended that I was there. I was disturbing his mopping. I sat down at a table. I sat alone. I sat in a suit. I looked Boychik like a man waiting for his own funeral. 8 o'clock came. Still nobody. I ate an olive from a tray that, in retrospect, I do not believe was meant for guests. I do not believe it was meant for anyone. It was a decorative olive. I have eaten the centerpiece. May Hashem forgive me. 8:30. 3 people arrived. They were all on their phones. One was the groom's uncle. He sat down in a chair. He immediately fell asleep. I respected him deeply. 9:45. The hall was half full. There was a DJ. The DJ was testing the microphone by yelling Echad, Shtaim, Shalosh into it for 40 minutes. A child was running. I do not know whose child. I'm not sure the child knew whose child. 10:30. A woman in white appeared. She was arguing with the photographer. I dared to believe, that this was the bride. The bride had arrived 3.5 hours after the invitation. In America, Boychik, this would be a scandal. There would be op-eds. In Israel, nobody noticed. The DJ was still testing the microphone. Echad, Shtaim, Shalosh. 12:45 in the morning. The chuppah began. Boychik. By this point, I was running on 3 espressos, 4 pieces of decorative parsley, and pure adrenaline. I was vibrating. I was no longer a man. I was a vibration. A vibration in a suit. The chuppah was beautiful. I cried, not for the couple, for myself, for my body, for my back, which had been sitting in that chair since before the candles were lit. 3 in the morning. The schnitzel arrived. Yes, Boychik, the main course, at 3 in the morning. There was a fog machine. Why was there a fog machine, Boychik? Nobody knows. Nobody has ever known. The fog machine is perhaps the question Israel asks itself. Child fell asleep on my shoulder. I did not know the child. He was 6 years old. His name was Daniel. He told me his name before he fell asleep. He is now, by Israeli custom, my responsibility. I will be at his bar mitzvah. He will be at the wedding of my grandchildren. This is the system. 5:30 in the morning. The sun was rising. The bride was still dancing. The groom was on a chair, being lifted by men who were, by every visible sign, completely exhausted. They had been lifting him for 2 hours. They were now lifting him out of pure inertia. It was no longer a choice. I walked out into the sunrise. My tie was loose. My jacket was over my arm. My soul was over the chair I had left it on. I would never get it back. I have since that day had a slightly different soul. A tired soul. An Israeli soul. I turned to a man on the street who was also leaving a different wedding, also at 5:30 in the morning, also with a child asleep on his shoulder. And I said to him, in America, you attend a wedding. In Israel, you survive a wedding. And he said to me, Yalla, Mazal Tov, he will be at the wedding. I did not know what wedding he meant, but I nodded. Because by then, Boychik, I understood. He was at the wedding. I was at the wedding. We are all always at the wedding. You are invited to your first Israeli simcha. Bring stamina. Bring a thermos. Bring a child. We handle the rest. Easy Aliyah. EasyAliyah.com